Well, it's beyond parody at this point. Activists these days are getting more ridiculous by the minute. It's like they're all competing for some gold medal in absurdity. From vegans trying to shame us into dropping dairy products to Just Stop Oil activists blocking traffic, making everyone miserable and wasting oil. The clown show never seems to end. But the best part is watching them get completely shut down by interviewers who've had enough of their nonsense, and today, we've got some of those epic moments. Please, as always, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell for more videos just like this.
New trend is sweeping theatreland in the UK and US. Blackout performances are dedicated to black-only audiences. Those who are not black are asked not to buy tickets. I'm just trying to picture what would happen if I put on a theatrical production in London and it said it was for whites only, or people identifying as white, which is obviously a ludicrous phrase, but you would go nuts. You would say that is blatant racism, segregation, dragged us kicking and screaming back to the dark days of appalling bigotry. You would?
Well, it depends on the context, right?
There's no whites-only audience.
It depends on the context.
No black people allowed. What would you say?
Well, I think you're perfectly right. It would be akin to racists finding more ways to be more racist.
So is it just me, or did she basically imply that white people are inherently racist? Well, to give a bit of context, these blackout events are meant to be exclusive spaces for certain groups, and they oddly echo a time in history when society was far worse. It was a time when people had to fight tooth and nail to dismantle Jim Crow laws, but for some reason, modern-day activists think that they're making progress by reintroducing segregation-style thinking under a different label. It didn't end there, as this woman kept insisting that Piers was missing context and arguing for the importance of these events.
The whole point of art is it should be for everybody.
But we're talking about race equity.
For everybody. No.
Context.
I don't know. It's not racially equal about this.
Piers.
It's racially unequal. You're saying
Piers.
no white people can come.
Context.
It's ridiculous.
What's the play about, Piers?
I've heard your art.
What's the play about?
It doesn't matter what it's
yes,
about.
Yes, it does.
It doesn't.
That's your issue. You want to negate context.
No,
and there is no
it doesn't
argument
matter if
from both of us without context. You know this, and yet you try to negate it.
No, I don't know this.
Here.
No, you can't.
Deal with the context, and if you can't deal with it, don't come with an argument. Deal with the context.
You can't tell me what I'm thinking.
No, exactly. But that's
right?
what you do to me.
Or what my opinion is.
And that's what people like you do to me.
People like
and
me?
Yes.
What do you mean people like me?
Prejudice. Racially prejudiced people like yourself. That's what you do. That's why we need safe spaces.
You're calling me racially prejudiced?
I've done that several times, Fizz. Why are you surprised?
Why are you saying that?
Ignorance doesn't actually suit you.
That's ignorant, actually, what you just said.
I've just told you.
I'm not racially prejudiced.
Okay,
and what you just said is very offensive.
And
you shouldn't be saying that.
Piers, what's prejudice?
Huh?
What's prejudice?
If you're racially prejudiced, you are a racist.
What's prejudice?
That's what you just called me.
You've been learning.
I'm not accepting that, sorry.
Context and safe spaces, that was pretty much her entire argument. Instead of recognizing the obvious irony, she stood by the idea that separating people by race is somehow progress. It's the kind of mental gymnastics that would make anyone's head spin. And when she realized her terrible worldview got exposed, she immediately flipped the script and started playing victim. Next, we have the director of a charity that put out an ad so disgusting and gruesome, it got banned in the UK. And a couple days later, she went on a show with Piers Morgan and gave us this legendary interaction.
Well, my problem with vegans is this. I mean, I bet you probably like almonds, do you?
Oh, no, you're not going to do the almond avocado with me. No, this is boring. This is boring.
It may be boring.
No.
I actually find the vegan assault on meat eaters boring. So do you eat avocados and almonds?
I'm not assaulting
Do you eat them?
anybody.
Do you eat them?
I eat them from Spain.
So you do? You eat avocados and almonds?
Because the issues that you talk
and
about...
do you drink...
About the
what
bees,
kind of milk do you drink?
You're talking about the murder...
What kind of milk do you drink?
You talk about the murder... Soya.
Soya, okay.
Yeah, so, you talk about the murder of bees in other interviews.
Yes, because vegans don't care.
But you don't care about the billions of calves and chicks and piglets that
I understand.
So you're a complete hypocrite.
No, I'm not.
You are, Piers.
No, the hypocrites are the vegans who munch away on almonds and their avocados and stuff. They don't give a damn about billions of bees getting annihilated. Because the bees are the little guys. And I had this conversation each time because that's the hypocrisy. I don't care.
You're obsessed with this because you think it catches
I am a
out.
proud and happy meat and yogurt eater.
The ad they released was titled Killer Yogurt, and trust me, you're better off not knowing the details. It was so bizarre and over the top that people couldn't stop complaining about it. She went on this interview in an attempt to defend the campaign by claiming it was just a parody and that they assumed people would get the message behind it. Well, clearly no one did, and I don't get how they thought that they would. And the public was rightfully put off by this. You see, instead of pushing a normal message, the ad was essentially trying to gaslight everyone into ditching dairy products by adding bloody imagery in it. You know, for a fact that Piers was going to eat yogurt right in front of this lady, so here we go.
Most of the bees get killed in the pollination process.
Rubbish.
And by the way, after they get killed, you vegans get all your almonds and avocados flown over on these gas-guzzling planes. And my point is, I like to fly, I like to eat meat, I like to eat yogurts. I'm just fed up with vegans trying to shame me for it when you're all such hypocrites when it comes to the bees.
No, you're not. You're against factory farming. If you went inside the farms that I've been inside, and the reason that I set up Viva, the state of the animals that I've seen them in, pigs, dying in front of me.
If this makes me evil, I am happy to be evil.
It's disgusting.
It's delicious.
Gotta say, I really love it when Piers eats food right in front of their face. It's like he's saying, yeah, I'm not playing your guilt game. These activists try so hard to shame people for eating what humans have been eating forever. But all it takes is one simple bite to throw their whole message off. It's not aggressive nor rude, it's just real. And it shows how weak their arguments are when they're faced with common sense. So please drop a like and subscribe to the channel if you'd eat anything that would make these people mad. Next we have a Just Stop Oil activist threatening the UK public with endless disruptions and protests. And some would say he wasn't making a great case for their movement.
Your viewers deserve to know that this disruption will end as soon as the government makes a statement that it will stop all new oil and gas.
That sounds a bit like a threat.
It's not a threat.
Well, it is a threat.
We're in a serious situation.
You're going to demonstrate and cause disruption and hardship and accidents until the government does what you say they should do. That's a threat.
This week, Antonio Guterres, the Secretary General of the United Nations, has said that we're on a highway to climate hell.
Yeah, and my Mimi told me that Santa was real, so what's your point? But seriously, what did this gentleman imagine his threats would achieve other than turning the people against him? He's representing the same group that throws soup at artwork and vandalizes historic landmarks, all in the name of climate action. And on top of that, he dares to quote the head of the UN like it's the gold standard for credibility. Give me a break. He even tried to blame the media for not pushing their narrative hard enough, which led to this epic schooling.
Yeah. The media always want to talk about the what. We need to put the why. A good friend of mine...
Have you watched this programme?
No.
Right, OK, so you don't have any idea what this programme does. You have no idea who our meteorologist is, Laura Tobin, who's one of the most outspoken people on climate change, who has written an entire book talking about what we each need to do as individuals on climate change. And you have the audacity to come on here and say that we're completely distracted and we're not talking about the issues. We talk about them every single morning, Sam. You're not getting people on your side, including people who would naturally be sympathetic to your cause. Sorry, and I'm going to end it there because you've already said you don't watch and you don't care.
This is the proper way to handle these activists, and I wouldn't accept anything less. I understand the importance of political action, but when you're trying to force the majority of society to follow an absurd set of rules based on the lies, most fraudulent organization in mankind history, which goes by the name of the United Nations, you deserve every bit of pushback you get. But I'd love to know which one of these moments was your favorite, so let's get the conversation rolling in the comments down below. And if you want your friends to see these perfect takedowns, please share the videos with them, it means the world. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.